So in my practice, two of the things that I specialize in are narcissistic abuse and religious trauma. And so I know that I'm attracting certain people who have dealt with these things, but when I tell you they go hand in hand, they go hand in freaking hand. And I saw a creator on here talking about ways that Christianity preys on emotionally immature people, and I second that emotion. I'm gonna tag him below. But when you think about narcissism and you think about the ways that it is abusive to people, the church is kind of like the training ground for narcissism. That's why we're having such a explosion of. That's how the narcissism has grown to the epidemic levels that it is today. Religion is one of the main vehicles that it comes through. And when you think about the tools that narcissists use to manipulate your emotions, you understand how it parallels with the church. Because you come to church when you're down, when you're low, they immediately start love bombing you as soon as you get there. They're surrounding you with love and affection and hugs and everything to make you feel comfortable there before you even know their philosophy. And they'll always say there's no such thing as a perfect church. And what they mean is once you get past the honeymoon phase, you're going to see some monsters come out. And sometimes we're going to hurt you more than whatever brought you here in the first place. No church is perfect because all of them are like that. There's so much narcissistic abuse that happens in our churches. That's why it's so easy for women to fall into it in their relationships, where you're feeling you have to earn someone's love and affection, where they're gaslighting you. You're gaslighting a person to try to make them think that it was God's will, that you understand why their child got sick and died. And you know what happened to them and where they are and what's the meaning of it and all that. All that is gaslighting. You do not know. There is no answer for why some of this stuff happens. Sometimes it just happens. And we're sitting here guessing, trying to understand it better by and by. Some things we'll never understand. And the church looking to have answers that it don't have is harmful to people. Holding people back, keeping people stuck in a position, waiting for God to do something that God never even promised that he was going to do. The gaslighting, the love bombing, the threatening, and the abuse that comes when you start to stray away. People are so scared for me for talking about this. Because you can be shunned. You could be kicked out of your family. You could be completely ostracized. You could be completely thrown away. They can stop fooling with your children. They can, every time y'all get together at family functions, be talking about you and basically calling you a witch and saying you're the Antichrist and this and that just because you don't agree. Families have broken up because a person will leave a certain denomination or leave whatever sect of religion they are a part of, Jehovah's Witness or Pentecostal or whoever. You will be ostracized. That's the part of the love bombing, the push and the pull of the, if I don't get my way, how much I'm gonna cut up. And I've already talked about the abuse. And I'm not saying that it's only happening at the hands of men. There are a lot of, a narcissistic woman is one of the most dangerous things you can come across. Because baby, let me tell you something. If you got the instinct and the intuition and the intelligence and the cunningness of a woman, but you're a narcissist on top of it, God be with us all. You have the power to destroy. You got the power to move heaven and earth. Okay? And whenever there's a shortage of men, they can always find a woman to stand in the gap to make up the hedge. Women sometimes are perpetuating the patriarchy and the narcissism just as much as the men are, and sometimes they're more harmful because you might expect it from a certain group or a man or some kind of old perverts or whatever, but when a woman sits up there and chastises you and fusses you for not staying with a person who's harming you, who's abusive to you, who starves you out emotionally, who manipulates you and emotionally abuses you and love bombs you and gaslights you and make you think you're crazy and lowers your self-esteem and tries to humble you, and it's another woman coming to you telling you to stay in that situation, it hurts even more because you're not protecting me. And think back about your mother with her little boyfriend when he was trying to touch you and you wanted her to say something and you try to tell her, and she came at you for being fast and condemned you because she got him from the church and was convinced that he was her husband sent from God. So when you told her that he was making funny eyes at you and making you feel uncomfortable, she told you you was being fast and you was the devil. And it's broken up families. Think about a young girl getting pregnant for the first time and she's scared and she's alone and she don't know what to do. And the church, instead of surrounding her with love and support, brings her up in front of everybody and makes her confess her sins and shames her, fills her with guilt and shame and condemnation. This is her first child. This is her first experience with motherhood. And think about what that does trauma-wise to your psyche. I could talk about this all day. Like,